Between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield. First down throw for Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On third down, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check, 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 check. Check. Down, coming.
Watson now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone, I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Browns drive about to get started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing. Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this offense, the shifty Lamar Miller sometimes sets the table.
And he's at his best when the number of carries for him approaches 20. Wears down defenses with his speed.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Larry Ogunjobi picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a former Buckeye back home. It's Carlos Hyde. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. From 17 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. CD, we got a little time here before Cleveland takes their next snap on offense. Quite a ride, really, for the Browns in 2019. Freddie Kitchens really hardly knew you. Gone after one season. Remember, people had elevated the Browns, not just playoff contenders, really, but Super Bowl contenders in the preseason. But that 6-10 finish brought them back to earth in a big way.
Well, let's go back to the preseason, and we did talk about those high expectations. I think that you and I both pumped the brakes on the Super Bowl talk. I thought playoff talk was legitimate. And when you look at this roster, whoever ends up taking over as the head coach of the Browns, they should be very happy with the talent that they have and a chance to chase a division title in the AFC North. So we'll see if this team matures, learns from this past season where expectations were too high and they didn't come close to meeting them. But I think it's a roster well worth noting that they can make some noise if they come together and play at their best.
Hey, Zoo!
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, it's complete to Hopkins. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 38 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 on the board. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 58 yards. As they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And some space here. Lamar Miller, 30, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
There we go.
Lamar Miller, 69 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Well, not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Yeah.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Regular. Hey, Haywood. You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
Hey, exit. Not today, you are. Not today. Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. Know your job. Hey, alert.
Throwing on second and long. Mayfield eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. On first down, it's Watson. Going deep here for Stills. He's got it at the 15. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. From the pistol, they'll run with Hyde. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Throwing on second and 8. Watson, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be second and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Now a first down throw, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 59 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about
thrown across his body and it's intercepted? Picked up by Justin Reed, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And he gets this to the 35, good for a gain of 5.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson escaping the pressure right. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They'll try the air now with Watson. Buying time to his left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a third and short, 3rd and 1.
And it's third down.
Check.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Steps away to his left. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Hey, Alpha. 41 Mike. 41 Mike. I'm scared. 41's the Mike. 41's the Mike.
To throw again. Stanton. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
I'm going rhetorical on you here. Could that pass have been delivered any better to the receiver downfield?
Not at all, and when he catches that, he didn't even have to break stride. Full speed, that's why he got all that yardage after the catch.
Timing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Watch the screen. Hey, check right. Watching you 5.
Back to the air on second down. Stanton, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Ready.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, Stanton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On first down, Watson dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game, and privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Here we go.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stanton under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Flushed out right. Open man is Higgins. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Stanton. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A run for Nick Chubb, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demetrius Harris, 27 yards. And the Browns able to get this one back to within at least some measure of respectability.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 47 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he's to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he's just saying something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Another try after the first down sack. Stanton, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
The throw down the field caught by his running back. That's good for 28 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Stanton. And that is incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been out. Played all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Stanton. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He finds Beckham complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And That's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Ready. Check right. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And